Having weak and flimsy wrists and forearms can cause issues like pain and stiffness in the hand, in the wrist, in the elbow as well, and even as far as in the shoulder. To combat this, you have to do multi-directional exercises, so not just these basic exercises you see people do at the gym. And by watching this video, you will learn the best exercise combination to get those Popeye forearms, stable wrists, and also get rid of that final weak link in your upper body. Hi, my name is Teemu. I'm a physical therapist from Finland. So our hands are quite unique in the animal kingdom. We can grab onto stuff, we can do quite intricate movements with our fingers, but we can also produce a lot of force with our hands. In the bygone eras of yesteryears and the days of yore, we did a lot of heavy everyday activities with our hands. For example, we worked at the fields, we hunted, we crafted, we perhaps climbed, and this made our hands quite strong naturally. But as mankind has mastered this reality and we have entered our modern times, the most that we do with our hands every day is typing on a computer and scroll on the phone. So we have become physically weak. Having this weak link will alter the movement patterns of the upper arm and also strain other muscles elsewhere that is not located in the wrist, so for example in the shoulder or in the elbow, and this will lead to overuse injuries and pain. Most commonly tennis or golfer's elbow. As a funny and a little bit sad side note, there was this anecdotal story in our local newspapers in Finland about a ring maker that had noticed that the ring size of men had decreased drastically throughout the years, indicating indeed this passive lifestyle and its effect on our anatomy. Hopefully by this point I've sold you on the idea that this weak link has got to go. You are ready to take some action and start doing this combination of awesome exercises and get strong. The first exercise category is wrist stability in pronation and supination. We'll show you different variations depending on your skill level. You can choose which is the one for you, the starting point for you. But first we will show the hardest version of this exercise. For this you are going to need a lopsided weight that you can adjust like this, or if you don't have this, you can use a stick that has some weight on one side of the stick. For example, a towel or a shirt. And also when you are using this lopsided weight, the more weight you have on one side makes it harder, of course, but also where you hold on the weight will also make it harder or easier. So if it's further away from the weight, then it's harder, or if it's closer to the weight, it's easier. So adjust according to your skill level. So in this exercise you want to keep your wrist in a stable, neutral position like this. So don't flex it, don't extend it like this, or deviate it in any way from the neutral. With the wrist in the neutral position, start to supinate and pronate your elbow like this. Do it like this until you start to feel the muscle burn in your forearms, and then repeat it for the other side. After you have done that, move on to the next exercise where you take hold of the weight like this and start to reach in front of you with the arm, like this. When you start to feel the burn again, then switch on to the other hand and repeat it there. When you have done that exercise, then switch the weight to the other side and repeat it there. Again, when you start to feel the burn in the muscles, switch to the other hand and repeat it there. The next exercise category is strengthening your extensor muscles and your flexor muscles. This will probably be a more familiar exercise to you. This is one of the boring basic exercises that people often do, but it's a good one. You just have to remember that in order to get your wrists stable and strong, you have to strengthen these muscles in multi-directional, multi-dimensional movements. So don't just do this one. But basically what you want to do is place your forearm on a surface like this, and next start to flex your wrist downwards as far as you can, and also let the weight drop down so that you hold onto it only with the tips of your fingers. Then roll it up, all the way up like this, and repeat it like this until you start to feel the burn in the muscle. After that, switch on to the other side, repeat it there, and when you have done that, then twist your hand around to the other side like this, and it will be the exact same movement pattern but opposite direction. Again, repeat it there until you start to feel the fatigue, the burn set into the muscles. Do it on the other side and then move on to the next exercise. In the next exercise category, we will concentrate on radial and ulnar deviation movements, so it means this for the uninitiated. In this exercise, you will again place a towel or something on the one side, on one end of the stick, so it has weight on there, and then you place your hand, your arm, your wrist against the wall. And then you start to do the movement downwards like this. And then if you can lift it up like this, or if it's too much, too hard to lift it up, you can aid the movement with the other hand like this. And again, the closer you are to the towel, the easier this exercise is, and the further you are from the towel, the harder it gets. This is an easy looking exercise, but it's deceptive. It will be hard. Do the repetitions like this until you start to feel the fatigue in the muscles, and repeat it for the other side. If you want to make this easier, you just remove the towel like a professional badass you are, and then start doing the exercise like this. The counter movement for the previous exercise is quite simple to do. It's the same thing but in reverse. So you grab onto the stick that has weight like this, and then you start to do the exact opposite movement. With the towel, you can also place yourself against the wall when doing the exercise. In this way, it's easier to take into consideration and monitor the correct wrist positioning. So in this exercise, you shouldn't twist your wrist like this or like this. You should keep it on the neutral position throughout the whole exercise. If you are doing this exercise with a weight, a lopsided weight, you should not go against a wall because you will damage the wall. Just do it like this. Again, do repetitions until you start to feel burn in your muscles, and do it on the other hand and move on to the next exercise. In the last exercise category, we will start to stabilize the wrists while moving the arm upwards. To achieve this, we will use a heavy kettlebell like this, or you can use a lopsided weight if you don't have a kettlebell. So if you have a kettlebell, position it upwards like this, keep your wrist in a neutral, stable position, and start lifting your arm up, doing overhead presses. Do repetitions until you start to feel a fatigue on one side, and repeat the same thing for the other side as well. Start doing these exercises slowly, progress gradually. So do just one set of each exercise from each category, so you don't overwork your forearms, get nasty tendon issues by going too fast, too quickly. For the first 2 to 3 weeks, do it like this, and if you have started to feel your forearms getting stronger, you might add more weight, or you might add another set to each exercise depending on your facilities, your power levels, your strength levels. And remember, if you have current issues with any pain in the upper limb, do these exercises without provoking the pain, or if you are unable to do it like that, then skip the painful exercises completely for now. Also, if you are going to do heavy exercises, heavy lifting exercises, or other sports with your hands, you might want to do this exercise workout on a separate day, or at least locate this workout at the end of your other workout. This way your lifting technique or your other technique doesn't start to suck because of the fatigue in your forearm. We are done now. See you later, alligator.